Okay, so a very good morning to everyone. This is Ekta Bansal, a PT expert with PT Tutorials, the OSIS group. I'm a certified PT trainer and have been into the field for more than 5 years now. I'm glad I've been able to help lots of students get their target scores and pursue their dreams further. So there are some random queries coming up from learners every now and then. And based on your interests, based on your needs, we always try to come up with some sessions which could be beneficial for all the learners. So today we are going to be talking about PTE vocabulary, the role of vocabulary or the importance of vocabulary in different sections of PTE, what to do in a situation where you come across unfamiliar words, how to deal with them, or how to understand them and get your tasks right, and then discussing a good strategy for building a good vocabulary. All right, ultimately it's always good to improve, so we'll be talking about a strategy to build vocabulary. Before we dig deeper into the session, let's have a look at the journey that PT Tutorials has had so far. So we are a group of people connected for the betterment of PT learners. We have a huge number of joinees who've taken PT online coaching with us. Lots of users trust our Android and iOS applications and have had taken a lot of benefit by practicing using these applications and website. We have helped lots of students score 79 and above. And not to forget mentioning, we have a huge Telegram community of 25,000 plus happy learners who are most welcomed to post their queries, discuss their doubts, and seek guidance from all the trainers connected in that common Telegram group. So if you are not a part of that group yet, I would highly recommend joining it right away. Coming back to today's session topic, PTE vocabulary. So let's discuss in detail the importance of vocabulary. Now, anyone who has already tried practicing PT or has taken the test earlier would instantly agree with me that exhibiting a good range of vocabulary or comprehending difficult words, or the words which you haven't been using already, it gets very challenging while we are in the real test and even while we're practicing. So almost every time we discuss this question, the answer is yes. Comprehending or using difficult words is one of the biggest challenges. It's a struggle for every learner, be it a beginner, be it an intermediate learner, even the advanced users of the language. They get stuck with certain words at sometimes. All right, so getting stuck here and there at one or two places, it's okay, it can be dealt with. However, on in general, you should know the way to tackle difficult words, to comprehend their meaning, and to be able to not get stuck in a particular task just because the vocabulary is unfamiliar. So why is vocabulary important? The very basic question, why is vocabulary important? Because every language is made up of words. So using a variation of words and using them appropriately, avoiding redundancy, writing your answers precisely, being able to express your ideas using different sets of words, all these indicate your level of proficiency in the language. This indicates how good command you have over the language. So it becomes important to have a good hold of the vocabulary when it comes to the usage of the language. Coming back to the PT test, now the PT test is divided into 4 sections: speaking, writing, reading, and listening. Now, in the speaking section, there are 5 different questions. In the writing section, there are 2 different question types. Reading again has 5 different questions, and listening has 8 different question types. Now, vocabulary has its own importance in each of these sections. talking about the role of vocabulary in the speaking section first. Why is vocabulary important? Why do I need to know multiple words? Why do I need to, understand different words? Because a rich vocabulary, it helps you to express yourself fluently. Let's go task by task, talking about the very first question, read alouds. Why is vocabulary important? Because only if you are familiar with a particular word, you will be able to pronounce it well, you will be able to read it confidently. Talking about repeat sentences, if you are not familiar with a particular word, you will not understand it when it is being spoken. Right. Then coming over to describe images. Describe images needs you to speak continuously for a period of around 40 seconds. The images sometimes contain text, which you can easily read aloud, or you can just speak it out, or you can frame sentences reading out what is given to you on the screen. Sometimes the images are plain pictures with no content at all. How do we go about them? We do not have a choice. We cannot change an image. We do not have an option to select a different one. So what do we need to do? We need to use a different set of words describing the few things that we can see on the screen. Maybe colors, maybe shape, maybe the basics about the image. So therein, vocabulary is something which plays a very important role. You can reframe a couple of sentences using a different set of words and continue to speak for around 35 seconds or 40 seconds. So things become pretty easy when you have a bulk of words in your kitty. Then read a lecture. Again, you should be able to understand what is being spoken. Plus, in retail lecture, we know we are supposed to retell what was heard. Right. So when we are retelling, we may or may not be able to remember the words exactly as they were spoken by the speaker, exactly as they were played or they were heard in the audio. But if we understand the basic theme of the lecture, we might use paraphrasing and restate the same ideas using different words. So things become very easy for us. Right. Then repetition of words can also be checked, provided you are using a multiple range of words. Precise and accurate speaking, be it retail lecture, be it describe images. You need to put forward your ideas precisely, avoid redundancy, avoid repetition. So a strong vocabulary helps you select the most precise and accurate words to convey your ideas effectively. Right. Now, this was the role of PTE vocabulary in the speaking section. Talking about the writing section. Anyone who is aware of the assessment parameters in the writing section very well is aware of the importance of vocabulary in writing. For all those who do not have much idea about it, the PT writing scores are based on your word choice, coherence, cohesion, descriptive abilities, lexical resources, idiomatic expressions, and collocations. So to enhance your clarity and effectiveness of the writing, you need to have an appropriate word choice. For a smooth, coherent writing, use appropriate transitional words and phrases. This becomes very important. Right. For instance, if you need to quote two examples, you need to have two phrases to indicate that, yes, you're quoting an example ahead. Then lexical resources. They all indicate a higher level of proficiency, thereby helping you score higher in your test. Idiomatic expressions and collocations. They play a very important role in your writing section. You need to have a grasp over collocations and idiomatic expressions and a good vocabulary to write precisely, accurately, and effectively. Right? There are certain strategies which we can follow. However, the importance of vocabulary cannot be underestimated. Role of vocabulary in the listening section. Now, again, vocabulary plays a very important role in the listening section as well. Where? In comprehending what was spoken. Because if you are not able to understand what was spoken, you will not be able to answer your questions well. Contextual understanding of the audio recordings is another important thing. Again, what is your understanding going to be based on? One, your ability to stay focused, not get distracted. Okay, listening carefully to everything that was spoken. Second, your contextual understanding. understanding the context, understanding the regard in which the context was spoken. Right. Then identifying the key details. Now, by understanding a broad range of words and phrases, you can follow the audio recordings, grasp the main ideas. This makes it easier for you to identify the key details and answer the questions based on the information provided. There is a 2 minutes audio which is played for summarized spoken text. You just have to summarize the same thing within 50 to 70 words. So how do you go about it? You cannot quote the speaker word by word. You'll have to write precisely, and you will have to be able to identify the key details. You'll have to keep the overall meaning of your summary similar to what was said by the speaker. Now, herein again, being able to comprehend the speech, being able to understand the context, the main idea of the speaker, the main theme of the speech, and then picking up, filtering the keywords, or if not exactly the keywords, then maybe paraphrasing the key details and then reproducing them, writing them as your response. This is all based on the usage of good vocabulary. Even effective note taking. We know we are provided with notepads and markers during our PT test, but how do we take notes? Effective note taking is also based on your vocabulary skills. In the listening section, it is very important to note the key details properly in shorthand style. Provided you know good vocabulary, you will not be able to take notes effectively, thereby impacting your listening section performance. Now comes the reading section. One area where I guess everyone will agree, yes, this is one area where we face a lot of difficulty in terms of vocabulary. A wide range of vocabulary is essential for understanding and comprehending the texts provided in the reading section. Reading section, a passage is given to us, we need to comprehend it, and most of the time, where do we get stuck? Not being able to understand what was written. So, knowing a diverse set of words allows you to accurately interpret the passage, grasp the author's message, and answer related questions effectively. If we are not able to comprehend, if we are not able to understand the author's message, then of course we are going to fail answering our questions correctly. Let's see how the vocabulary impacts different questions in the reading section. So reading section, what's the purpose here? The purpose is to test your reading and writing ability in English. There are 5 question types in the reading section. 1, reading fill in the blanks. 2, reading and writing fill in the blanks. 3, multiple choice, choose single answer. 4, multiple choice, choose multiple answers. And 5, reorder paragraphs. Now, I'm sure everyone would agree, reorder paragraphs, reading, writing blanks, multiple choice, single answer or multiple answers. Everything is based on our comprehension of the text. If the terminology is simple, if we are able to comprehend the text well, getting the order right or picking up the correct words, it all becomes very easy because everything is given to us as options. We only have to choose the correct answer, be it the drag and drop blanks, be it the drop down menu blanks, or be it the MCQs or the reorders. The entire text is given to us. We are not concerned about the spellings here. We are not concerned about brainstorming here. Everything is given to us. We just need to pick and choose. But then again, what's the issue here? Sometimes when it comes to blanks, there are some options given to us. We are not aware of the meaning of those options. So how do we know if that is the correct answer or not? Likewise, for reorders, there's a passage given to us. It is divided into paragraphs, but we are not understanding the meaning of the paragraphs. We are not able to comprehend the text. We go slow in our reading thereby, because we are not able to understand. We read it multiple times. Plus, there are certain words which we are not able to deal with. So it becomes a turn off for us. We don't feel like attempting that task. So we just somehow manage to do it and pass forward. To avoid that, it is very essential to find out ways to deal with the unfamiliar words. So in these question types, having a diverse vocabulary enables you to comprehend the passage more accurately. You'll be able to select the correct options easily and demonstrate your proficiency in the language. Having a wide vocabulary will also help you succeed in the test, as you will not slow down while reading the passages. You will not slow down for the words that you do not understand, right? So thereby, you know that time management is also very important in the reading section. So unfamiliar words, difficult vocabulary words not only lower our speed of comprehending or reading the text, but it also, lets us consume more time that should be ideally spent on a particular question type, thereby leaving us very little or maybe no time for a few important questions, impacting our scores like anything. Now, how do we deal with the unfamiliar words? We have been discussing that unfamiliar words are a cause of problem in different sections of the PTE exam, especially in the reading section. So now let's discuss how to deal with unfamiliar words. Every time you see an unfamiliar word, try to break it down into smaller sections. Split the word into prefix, root, and suffix. Let's begin by taking a very simple word, misunderstood. Okay, let's say somebody is not aware of the meaning of the word misunderstood. Break it down into prefix, root word, and suffix. So when we break misunderstood into the following sections, miss is the prefix, root word is the understand. So understand means to comprehend something, to understand something. Miss means wrong. So if you know the meaning of miss or you know the meaning of understand, you will be able to comprehend the meaning of the word misunderstood. You just need to divide the word into prefix, base word, and suffix, and then combine these two words to get your answer, to get the meaning of the word. How to use the prefix and suffix method? There are a few steps to apply this effectively. First of all, as a step one, please make an effort to learn a few common prefixes, suffixes. Familiarize yourself with them, know their meaning, look out for them in the words that you do not understand. And even for the words that you understand, just try to identify the prefixes and suffixes. Some very common prefixes are un, re, pre, miss, dis. Okay, now after me specifying these, just watch out for these prefixes. Take a note of these, create your lists, write the prefixes, write their meanings. Whenever you see a word which uses these prefixes, try comprehending the meaning of the word based on your knowledge of these prefixes. Likewise for suffixes, a few very common suffixes are able, shun, li. Okay, they'll provide clear clues about the word's meaning. So first of all, create a list of commonly used prefixes and suffixes. Write their meanings along with them. Learn them. Try using them every time you sit down to practice. Eventually, they'll be playing at the back of the mind every time you're practicing. You will not have to think that pre is a prefix. What does it mean? Right? You see a word starting with un, you will not have to think un, okay, this is a prefix. What does it mean? Right? They'll be playing at the back of your mind. They'll be, they'll be a part of your understanding. Likewise for li, able, shun, and other suffixes of this kind. Just learn the basic ones initially, and eventually you'll be able to interpret the meaning of words using them all by yourself. Then break down the word. Split every difficult or unfamiliar word into prefix, root, and suffix. The prefix usually provides additional information to the word. So consider the root word, you know its meaning, well and good, apply the prefix along with it, interpret the meaning. Is it changing the meaning? Is it prefix like poly? It means multiple. So let's say the word is polynomial, polygamy. If you know the meaning of gamy, perfect. Poly means multiple gamy. If you do not know the meaning of gamy, you still know what is poly. So polygamy is something which is not single, which is multiple. Right? Next, analyze the suffix. Suffixes usually help us identify the part of speech the word is. What are parts of speech? The nouns, the verbs, the adjectives, the verbs, adverbs. These are all parts of speech. So a suffix usually helps us identify the word form or the part of speech that the word is, and does it adds a specific meaning to the word. It will tell you the significance of the word in the sentence. For example, ed indicates that a word is a verb. Ly indicates the verb is an adverb. Right? So if you are able to identify the suffixes, you will be able to understand, interpret the meaning of the word. Combining the parts, put prefix, suffix together along with the root word, and then try to interpret the meaning. Let's consider a few examples to understand this better. First word, unprecedented. Okay, so there's a word unprecedented. I read it somewhere. I'm not familiar with the word. How do I go about it? I'll split it into prefix, root, suffix. Prefix here is un, root is precedent, and suffix is ed. Okay, so prefix un means that it is indicating some kind of negation. It means not. Okay, now if un means not, un means negation, it is going to mean the same for every word where it is used. Root word precedent, this means the core, this is the core word, the base word here. Then is suffix ed. Ed, what does it indicate? It is a past tense or a past participle, and every word that has a tense is a verb. Right? So we know that this word is a verb. Now, this breakdown helps us understand that unprecedented refers to something that has no previous precedent or has not been done before. Precedent is related to previous, un is related to negation or not, ed is referring to past. Right? So not done in the past. Let's look at another word, subconscious. Sub means below or beneath. Okay, conscious is the core word. Conscious, your mind or your conscious, your alertness, attentiveness, conscious, being conscious or unconscious. Right? So subconscious is below the conscious mind. So sub, again, it means below or beneath. It is going to mean the same for every word that you come across. Thereby, create a list of some commonly used prefixes and suffixes. Learn them. They'll help you out in majority of the difficult words. Another word, discombobulate. Discombobulate is one word which I cannot interpret again. I'm going to divide it into prefix and root word. Discombobulate. So dis means again negation or reversal. So I can understand here that discombobulate means that it is negating combobulate. Right? So now still, combobulate is the root word. I do not understand its meaning. Then what do? I have divided this word into prefix and the root word, but still I'm not able to interpret the meaning of the word combobulate. What do? The challenge here is that the root word is unfamiliar. If the root word is familiar or the prefix is familiar, you will be able to identify, interpret the meaning of the word. But what do we do if we are unfamiliar with the meaning of the root word only? Then we look for contextual clues. Let's look at this example. Variety is the spice of life, but jumping from one thing to another this week will completely discombobulate you and everyone else. This means negation. So what is combobulate based on this sentence? We'll read the sentence carefully and try to use the context to interpret the meaning of the unfamiliar word. Variety is the spice of life, but jumping from one thing to another this week will completely discombobulate you and everyone else. So jumping from one thing to another, this gives us an idea of some sorts of confusion, haphazardness, right? So I know combobulate is a word which is related to confusion or some instinctive movements, some rapid, unplanned, unorganized decisions. And this is negating combobulate. So the meaning of the word is to be in a state of confusion, to be upset or disoriented. Okay. So this is what we do if we are unfamiliar with the meaning of the base word or the root word. Contextual clues. We read the surrounding text to understand the meaning of the word that we are unfamiliar with. So what do we do to get hints from the context? We look at the words in sentences preceding, coming before, and following the unfamiliar word. So what do? We carefully read the words and the words and the phrases coming before and coming after the unfamiliar words. This context will provide clues about its meaning and usage. Okay, let's consider another example here. The doctor prescribed medication to alleviate the patient's persistent pain. I'll read it again. The doctor prescribed medication to alleviate the patient's persistent pain. So the unfamiliar word is elevate. And the words surrounding this word are prescribed, medication, persistent pain. Now, of course, we know that if we visit a doctor and the doctor prescribes some sort of medication to deal with the persistent pain, it has to be to reduce the pain or to relieve someone of the pain. Thereby understanding that the word elevate means to reduce or relieve. Okay, so my point here is that whenever you come across unfamiliar words, try to level up your vocabulary skills by putting in some extra effort to understand the meaning of that word. Instead of feeling that this word is unfamiliar, I will not be able to understand this word, you should try to break the word into prefix, suffix, and root word and interpret its meaning. Or you should put some extra effort, try to read the surrounding text and interpret the meaning of the word. Let's look at another example. The hiker traversed the arduous terrain, climbing steep slopes and crossing treacherous rivers. The hiker traversed the arduous terrain, climbing steep slopes and crossing treacherous rivers. Now, the word here, the word under consideration here is traversed. So how do we interpret the meaning of this word here? Let's look at the surrounding words again. Hiker, arduous terrain, climbing steep slopes, crossing treacherous rivers. So the surrounding words give us an idea that traversed means to move across or negative or navigate through difficult or challenging terrain. Now, these are a few examples. If you put this strategy into practice, your mind by itself is going to make an extra effort to interpret the difficult words whenever you come across them. It will not give you a thumbs down. It will make an effort to read the surrounding text multiple times to try and interpret the word based on prefix, suffix, and root word. And eventually, you'll be improving upon your vocabulary bank. The third thing that is very important in terms of PTE vocabulary is collocations. Collocations, where are they used? Essay writing, collocations play a very important role. Then the blanks, collocations play a very important role. Sometimes even in the reorders, even in the listening section, the retell and the summarized spoken text, some collocations are randomly spoken by the speakers. They are played in the audios. Especially for the reading blanks, the reading writing blanks, collocations play a very important role. So if you are working on your PTE vocabulary, remember to level up your skills in the collocations. Make it a point to create a list of few important collocations, understand their meaning and their usage. I'll be sharing a list of important collocations with you. Of course, that is going to be helpful. Besides that, I would also want all of you to constantly keep adding collocations to that list, right? Okay, so what are collocations? Collocations are a group of words that go together. Those are the word combinations that go together. Okay, like if you replace one of the words with another word, the something sounds incorrect. Our instinct tells us something is wrong. So it's about the usage of some parts of speech, maybe a noun, maybe an adverb, maybe a verb. Some of them usually go well together only. They do not have substitutes. So we, in order to go up to the level of proficiency in the English language, we'll have to memorize them as it is. Reading and writing blanks in the reading section, we all know it's a very important question. And for those who are unaware, let me tell you, in the entire reading section, there is only one task which is integrated. That is reading and writing fill in the blanks. And this task has a very, very high contribution towards our PT scores. And this is highly based on the usage of collocations. For all those who are targeting 79 and above, it becomes essential to work effectively to answer perfectly this section. And to answer perfectly this section, you will have to work on your collocation skills. So let's see what are the different types of collocations. The different type of combinations are adverb adjective. What are adverbs? What are adjectives? Both of these are describing words. But adverbs describe some particular parts of speech. Adjectives describe some particular parts of speech. However, an adverb can also describe an adjective. So adverb adjective collocation is one common collocation. Completely satisfied. Completely, if you remember, I told you ly is a suffix which tells us that the word is an adverb. Okay, so one of the common group of collocations is adverb adjective. Example, completely satisfied. The second group is adjective plus noun. Adjective, describing word. What does it describe? Noun. Excruciating pain. Noun plus noun. A surge of anger. Noun plus verb. Lion's roar. Okay. Verb plus noun. Commit suicide. We do not say do suicide. Okay, we say commit suicide. Verb plus expression with the preposition by its side. Burst into tears. Verb plus adverb. Wave frenetically. So there are different groups of collocations. Broadly, there are 7 groups of collocations. Pearson's gives us a huge list of collocations. We do share it with our learners as well, but it's practically not possible to learn all the collocations. There are some 2000 plus collocations provided by Pearson's. So yes, if you would like to access the list, please join us in the Telegram community and do ask us for the list of collocations. You may tag me as well. My ID is Ekta_Rosses. But if I'll be also sharing a list of important collocations, just go through that. That is going to help you to a certain extent to improve your skills in the reading section. Besides that, I would also request that every time you are working on yourself, every time you are practicing PT, please keep on adding to that list. Maybe share it with your peers as well. Share it with us also. Okay. Here is a list of few common collocations that are repeatedly used in the PTE exam. Major decision. It's usually a major decision. Basic component. Counterfeit money. Younger generation. Annual turnover. Acceptable behavior. So what happens if one of these two words is missing and you see some options given to you related to these words, then you should quickly know. Deposit a check. Deposit a money, cash, check, note, currency. You should know it's a check. Okay, this is how collocations work. Hard-earned money. Major decision. So if it is something, if there's a blank and there is a word decision after the blank and you see some words along with major, you should instantly know major is the answer. This is what collocations are about. Collocations are the groups of words, or they are the word combinations which are used more often than others. Okay, they have no substitutes. They are used as it is every time by the native speakers of the language. All right. So you may take a screenshot here, save this list for yourself. And yes, of course, as already requested, please keep adding on to this list. We would be happy to see you have created longer lists than this. Right. Having said this, let's try to look at a few ways to improve your vocabulary. Because I believe by the time one ends up preparing for PT and taking the test, and of course sailing through with a very good scorecard, we always feel that we have improved our command in the English language. So when you are learning to take your test, by side, also keep in mind that you're working on your personality development, you're working on yourself. So here are a few ways that I would recommend in order to improve your vocabulary as a basic. Number one, read. When you want to read, choose books on topics that interest you. It could be anything: astrology, business, fashion, shopping, share market, Bollywood, anything, literally anything. What is important is dedicating 30 minutes or 40 minutes or more if possible on a regular basis, prioritizing reading. Sit with a book in your hand, or maybe Kindle or any other electronic device, whatever is your way of reading. Make it a habit to read for a certain fixed period of time every day. Devote time to listening, podcasts, audiobooks. Again, regularity is the key. And when you're listening, please take a note of the unfamiliar words. Listening not only helps you improve upon your vocabulary, but it helps you improve upon your pronunciation also. And human nature is to imitate. So if you are listening to native speakers in the podcasts or audiobooks or radio, you are going to be imitating them. You're going to be mirror learning from them. That will help you improve upon your vocabulary, your pronunciation, and fluency. The words learned thus should be put to use, should be put to practice. Keep a word log. Maintain a list of important words or difficult words, or the words that you see randomly being used, or the words that were unfamiliar to you. Maintain a list of such words and put them to use. Create your own word log and practice creating sentences, or intentionally try speaking using a couple of those words in your regular conversations. Spellings. In the PTE test, spellings have a lot of importance. Trust me, it is not possible to score high in the PTE writing section if you are not good at spellings. So spellings play a very important role when it comes to your writing scores. If you are maintaining a word log, if you are reading on day-to-day basis, of course, listening won't help you improve your spellings though. But then learning new words and putting them to usage in your writing will help you improve your spellings. And if you are good at spellings, you're going to get better scores in the writing section in the vocabulary. Playing vocabulary games, a very interesting way out. I also use it sometimes. This is very engaging, and it gives us a break from the stress that we face while we are preparing for the exam. There are multiple options available these days. So just pick up a few vocabulary games. Try spending some time playing them. If at all you have to play a game and you're preparing for PT, I will highly recommend play some vocabulary building games. Okay, I can see some queries in the chat box. I will request you to please hold on for a few minutes. I'll be opening the Q&A round, right? And then I'll be answering all your queries one by one. Right. There are a few more important things that I would like to put across. After that, it's your queries and my answers. A good strategy for vocabulary building: prepare topic-wise. You might not be aware of this, but PTE is an academic test, and most of your questions or the passages are of academic theme. Okay, this is an academic test. We say PTE academic. So most of the questions being put here, be it in summarized written text, be it in your retail lecture, be it in your summarized spoken text, be it any other audios in the listening section, or the read alouds in the speaking section, they are all based on academic theme, most of them. So I'll be sharing a list of important topics which you can pick up one by one and start preparing. So these are some of the common topics that you will see that you can relate to when you are attempting any of the questions in the PT exam. The questions are either related to technology, nature, law. I remember an essay topic based on this topic, law. Should parents be held responsible for the misconduct of children or not? Or um, is human behavior impacted by law? Right? Environment. We commonly come across environment in summarized written text and then sometimes in retail lecture also. Sports, health, work, government, education, communication, travel tourism, inventions. So these are some of the common topics. So, you know, when you have a list, when you have a target, there are 10 topics. I have to cover them one by one. Now just go listening to anything related to either of these topics, or maybe you can just pick up a random article, or you can read a book based on any of these topics. You are not preparing for PT directly in that way, but yes, you are improving your proficiency for the PT test as well. So, you know, do not make your preparation boring. Choose alternative ways, but keep prepping up yourself. Okay. Now, just to recap, today we discussed the importance of vocabulary in the PT exam, what role vocabulary plays in the speaking section, in the reading section, in the writing section, and in the listening section, right? Then there are certain ways which can help you interpret the meaning of the words that are unfamiliar to you. We break the word into prefix, root word, and suffix, or we look for help in the context, in the surrounding words, and try to interpret the meaning of the text, or else we mug up a number of collocations which helps us upskill our scores directly in the reading and writing blanks. So these are few shortcuts, these are few tips to help you improve your scores in terms of PT vocabulary. Besides this, of course, when we put things to practice, when learners sit with us for coaching, there are of course multiple ways out. We have to identify what's your style of learning, and then we work purposely on you, targeting your strengths and weaknesses, and help you overcome your weaknesses. You know, it's about consistent practice. So first thing, do not give up. Second, find out ways. We are here to guide you. If you can self-help, that's wonderful. If not, do connect with us. Join us on YouTube, Facebook. We are there on Instagram as well, and Telegram. Of course, we would love to have you all in our Telegram community, where you are free to ask questions and we'll be sharing our responses based on your queries. I've shared some links in the chat box. The link to the Telegram group that we have, the Instagram handle. To understand the strategies and stay updated with our classes on day-to-day basis, and to have video access to all the strategies that are being taught by us, you can just check our YouTube channel, and then of course connect with us in Telegram. Also, I would highly recommend the usage of PT Tutorials exam memories while you are preparing yourself. We have lots of clients reporting lots of repetition from the PT Tutorials exam memories. I've shared the link for access to exam memories in the chat box. So just try downloading the PDFs for the month in which you are taking your exam. And if possible, try preparing using the previous month's PDFs also. Once you start practicing using the exam memories, you'll feel the difference in your performance. You'll realize the importance of the exam memories and you'll see how it is helping you upskill yourself. Besides this, if you are seeking help in terms of coaching, please join us for our online coaching batches, the group batch, wherein we provide 4 weeks coaching, 8 weeks coaching. And if let's say you have limited time, you'll not be able to sit on a regular basis for 1 hour per day, then please connect with us over one-to-one coaching. We are providing customized study plan at convenient timings, along with session recordings, and there is much more. So if you are looking forward to any sorts of preparation help, please connect with us for online coaching. For all the queries related to that, you could please contact us on the given number 955-8459-119 or connect with us over the Telegram group. Okay, now let's have your queries. So I'll be okay. Niru is asking for session recording of this class. Yes, Niru, the session recording will be shared. This is live streaming. Also join us in the Telegram. We'll be sharing the link of this session in the Telegram group. All right. Yes, please post your queries in the chat box. I'll be happily answering all your queries one by one. Krunal, please send me the name of vocabulary game. Krunal, okay, I would love to send you the vocabulary game. Could you please just check the App Store? Depends on the device that you are using. Just check the App Store and or the Play Store on your phone. Just type vocabulary game and you will get a list of vocabulary games that you could use. Just try playing them. It's fun while you learn vocabulary. अल्फीना is asking, listening में fill in the blanks में spelling mistake बहुत होती है, कोई solution दीजिए. अल्फीना, listening में spelling mistake के लिए number 1, practice 20 to 30 fill in the blanks questions in one sitting. When you are doing this in one sitting, like when you are spending a considerable amount of time on one question type, then it helps you improve there in terms of listening, in terms of interpreting the pronunciation of the speaker, in terms of retaining the word better. Okay, now when you are able to interpret the pronunciation, or if you are able to listen perfectly to the speaker, you will be, able to get the spellings of the word through their pronunciation only. Second, let's say you are going wrong somewhere. Create a word log, create a list of the words where you go wrong. Okay, keep adding on to that list every time you make a mistake. So let's say you did some practice on day 1, you created a list of 10 words. Next time when you sit down to practice, please go through those 10 words. Do not verbally go through them. Rewrite. I remember when I was in school, the teacher used to tell us to write the misspelled words 5 times. It seemed very boring then. It was like I made a mistake and it is a punishment. I have to rewrite the same word 5 times. But it helps. As an adult, I understand it helps. So just try following the same technique. You misspelled a word, rewrite it 5 times, 6 times. By the end of that 5th or 6th time, those spellings would be by-hearted. We are looking at the image. We are looking at the letters when we are writing. Plus, we are running our brain to figure out the correct spellings. So we are engaging 2 energies, 2 senses in that. Right? So that should help you remember them better and for a longer time. Okay. So, Aju is asking, is there any recent changes in PT patterns? Seem like 2 S's are there now. Aju, these changes keep on handing randomly. Sometimes it is 2 essays in one summarized written text. Sometimes there is one There are 2 summarized written text and 1 essays. Remember, the pattern for the writing section is the combinations are either 1 summary, 1 essay, or 2 summarized written text questions and 1 essay, or 1 summarized written text and 2 essays. Till some time back, 2 essays were being given along with 1 summary. But recent update from most of my learners, my clients, is that they are getting 1 essay in their exam along with 2 summaries. So these changes now keep on happening. They are on day-to-day basis. Today I'm saying my client got 1 essay. Tomorrow maybe another client who takes the test, maybe he reports that he got 2 essays. So they always give us a range. We cannot be sure about how many essay questions you would get, but it's either 1 or 2. Okay, Geeta is asking read alouds, higher marks in read alouds. Geeta, read alouds, what I can suggest is, please record yourself 1 read aloud question. Just log into the PT Tutorials website or use the application. Practice reading 1 read aloud. Share a screenshot of the read aloud along with your recording. Tag me in the Telegram group. My ID is Ekta_Rosses. Okay, or you can just write Ekta Bansal. Let me listen to you. Let me see where you are going wrong, and maybe I'll be able to guide you better then. For repeat sentences, Geeta, there are a few strategies which we recommend. So first thing, I'll have to sit with you to analyze where you are missing it. Okay, where you are lagging. Is it in listening to the audio? You're not able to understand what the speaker is saying? Or is it in retaining? Or do you tend to forget while you repeat it? So for that, I need to sit with you in a session, understand where you are lagging, and then maybe I'll be able to recommend better. Right? Join us in the Telegram group. You can tag me and post your queries. I'll be happy to guide you. Kirti, for your practice tests, please log into the PT Tutorials website. There are lots of free sample questions available there. You can also take them one after the other in an exam-like pattern. AI scoring is also provided. You can just try using them. Our speaking section AI has really helped many of my clients. I can vouch by it because I have seen my clients taking advantage of the AI. And besides that, you'll also have model answers for all the questions in the writing section. So just log into the website, try using it first. If you still need something else, maybe we can discuss that. Reading, writing, fill in the blanks was full of grammar questions when I was attending 2 weeks back. None of the questions were related to vocabulary. Is this some new pattern? Vocabulary, Aju, has always been a very important part of reading, especially the reading and writing blanks. Everything, I guess. The multiple choice questions wherein you read the passages, or the reading blanks, or the reorders. The entire reading section is based on vocabulary. So it's not only on the grammar. Grammar is about, connecting those vocabulary words in a correct pattern. Grammar is more about correct use of punctuation and sentence structures, or the correct combination of different words of speech. So vocabulary has always been important, and it will be important. In writing, precise writing, avoiding repetition of words, logically connecting your ideas, using transition words, summarize written text, selecting the ideal words, which will compile the key data in fewer words, and then reading section, understanding the meaning of the text and then being able to answer the question. It's all based on vocabulary. So I do not totally agree with what you are saying. Reading section is more based on vocabulary than the grammar. Okay. Kawaljeet, things to improve pronunciation while speaking. What's to keep in mind? Kawaljeet, there are different question types. If you talk about read alouds, you'll have to improve upon your vocabulary. Okay, so pronunciation. So how do we go about it? Practice. Every time you doubt your vocabulary, keep a note of that word, post it in the group, ask a trainer to help you. Maybe you can tag me as well. Okay, so just make sure that you are using the correct pronunciation for the words that you read aloud. When you talk about repeat sentences, just mimic what the speaker has said. There is no need to, understand what was spoken. Sometimes the words are absolutely unfamiliar, but yes, keeping the pronunciation in mind, if you speak it in a similar pattern, if you just mimic the tone of the speaker, then you are good to go. So pronunciation plays a different role in different questions in the speaking section. Likewise for retail, you can just imitate the speaker's pronunciation without even knowing the meaning of the word. But if you talk about describe image, I'll say use the words only which you can pronounce perfectly. Otherwise, replace them with different words. All right. Any more queries, anyone? Online coaching. Yes. Okay. Online coaching. Yes. I must tell you, online coaching has been of great help. I've been into this profession for 5 years now, and I have always been taking online coaching sessions. PTE is an online exam. It is entirely automated, and the entire checking is done by the artificial intelligence. So if you doubt the ability, like, I mean, some people have that image in mind. They believe that online coaching is not that effective. But let me tell you that even if you go to a local test center, they are going to make you sit on a system and prepare for PT. But then if you are going to be sitting on a system, why not access the best? Why not go for authentic resources? Because when you are practicing, please be sure of the resources that you are using, be it the trainers, be it the practice material, be it the exam prediction files, be it the mock test you are taking, be it the AI you are using. Because, when you are trained wrongly, it takes a lot of effort to get you back to the track. So online coaching, I must say, it has always proven to be very effective. I'm happy to say that I have personally helped thousands of clients clear their exam with better scores than they were targeting, and all in the online coaching. So Simran is asking, is online coaching as effective? Yes, Simran, online coaching is very effective. Geeta, I'll just Geeta, you can just drop a message to me regarding the fees of the online coaching. Yes, this is my ID. I'm sharing my ID for everyone. Tag me, post a query in the Telegram group tagging me. I'll be answering your queries further there. We have a certain time constraint where it comes to some sessions online. So I'll have to end this session now. I assume that there are no more queries. Thank you so much for being such lovely audience. I can see a lot of messages saying thank you, the class was informative. I'm glad I was of help. I could guide you to a certain extent. I look forward to more queries from all of you. Stay connected with us in the Telegram group. Keep me posted with your queries. You are free to tag me and post your queries in the Telegram group. I'll be happy to guide each one of you. I look forward to happy learning. Keep practicing, everyone. Stay updated and stay connected with us. Thank you so much. Let's end this session here. I'll see you soon again in another session, sometimes pretty soon. Yes, sure. Another session on grammar too. I'll be coming up with it shortly. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.